Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
Before we get started, we're going to turn to the east and give our praise to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Makadash.
We want to give double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone, the men that taught us the truth. It's 100% truth. The true way of worshiping the Heavenly Father and His Son. We want to wish peace and salutation to the hopeful elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth. Shalom. It's a GMS Memphis camp out here on the highways and hedges once again and back at it again with another pre-camp lesson. So we hope this pre-camp lesson be edified. Let's go and get into the scripture. Let's start it out with Proverbs 1 and
20. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 20. It reads, "Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets."
So you got wisdom crying out in the streets, hidden in plain sight, where you can see it and hear it. Keep going.
And it says in verse 21, "She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates."
So she crying out in the chief place of concourse. The chief place of concourse will be the main parts in your city, the main areas. Like we heard in Memphis, downtown will be the chief place. It will be the main area where people will be in. Start over again on that.
Come on, now, this is back in Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 21. It says, "She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates."
It said in the openings of the gates. You know, the entry of the city. Where the marketplaces going on, people buying and selling. Well, a multitude of people gather together. Downtown or your public square will be the openings of the gates of the city. Keep going.
And it says, "In the openings of the gates, in the city she uttereth her words, saying," verse 22, "How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge."
It said, how long you simple ones when you love simplicity? Read that in NLT.
Come, it says in Proverbs 1 and verse 22 in the NLT, "How long, you simpletons, will you insist on being simple-minded?"
Get that word simpletons.
All right.
In a Google.
All right. Simpletons. This is the word simpleton in the Google dictionary, and it says a foolish or gullible person.
So you got you Israelites out here, you are a simpleton, a foolish nation. Wise to do evil, but to do good you have no knowledge.
Yeah.
That's why the Lord said, "My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge." Cause you out here, man, hey, I always thinking about having a good time. And so what else it say up on there?
It says right here in the Merriam-Webster dictionary for the word simpleton, it says a person lacking in common sense.
So you lacking common sense. You lacking judgment. And you supposed to know judgment. Go back to Proverbs.
Come. This is back in Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 22 in the you want me to finish in the NLT?
Yeah, in the NLT.
Come. It says, "How long, you simpletons, will you insist on being simple-minded? How long will you mockers relish your mocking?" It says, "How long will you fools hate knowledge?"
So how long you simple-minded Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, and Hispanic, how long you gonna keep on being simple-minded? How long you gonna keep on being foolish, hating knowledge? Here it is, you got wisdom crying out in the streets in the chief place of concourse, and you ignore it. You walk around like, hey, like wisdom is not important. But in the end game, in the end time, hey, this wisdom going to be able to save your life in the end. Go to matter of fact, go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 4.
God, this is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 4. It says the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning.
So you got the hearts of the wise that's in the house of mourning. The prudent ones. They're seeing that, hey, this ain't the time to be caught up in no mirth spirit, to be turning up, to be in pleasure. They know this kingdom right here is not their rest. So they in the house of the mourning. Keep going.
Yep, and it says in Ecclesiastes 7:4, the heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of the fools is in the house of mirth.
So you got the hearts of the fool. 2/3 of our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, Hispanic, you got them in a house of mirth, just like a hoe. Always about pleasure. The scripture speak about, man, she that live her life in pleasure is dead already. Our people always thinking about having a good time. Always thinking about pleasure. But here it is, it's a sword being sharpened right now. Give me the Ezekiel 21:9.
Come. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 21 and verse 9. And it reads, Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord.
It said prophesy, to speak before, to say before. So we telling you of things that's going to come to pass. Events, prophecy that is written in these scriptures. It's going to take place in your lifetime. Keep going.
Yeah, it says in Ezekiel 21 and 9, it says, Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Say a sword is sharpened. So
this is a twofold right here. You got the nuclear missiles and you got Esau Edom. Give me that in Psalms 17, verse 13.
This is Psalm 17 and verse 13. It says, Arise, O Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Disappoint him, cast him down.
Disappoint who?
Esau Edom.
Keep going.
And it says, Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
So the wicked is the Lord's sword. He's that whipping stick. They're going to come down with great wrath on you Israelites. They're so caught up in mirth. They're so caught up in pleasure. So he's that sword, Esau Edom, the so-called white people. Go back to Ezekiel.
Back in Ezekiel chapter 21 and back in verse 9. It says, Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished.
So this sword is being sharpened. And it says also furbished. So it's getting polished. So it sounds like this sword finna get put to use. Keep going.
Yeah, and it says, in verse 10, it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished.
So it's sharpened that it make a sore slaughter. So it's sharpened to kill, to get put to use. Keep going.
And it says it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter.
So this sword is being polished. It's being glittered up. You know how you get through sharpening a sword, it got that shine to it. Man, that sun or that sunlight hit it, it just glistens. It got that glistening to it. So this sword is finna get put to use. Keep going on.
Yep, and it says it is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth?
So should we then make mirth? Should we then be in a house of mirth, turning up? Should we?
Oh.
Keep going.
And it says, should we then make mirth? It says, it contemneth the rod of my son as every tree.
Keep going.
And it says in verse 11, and it says, and he have given it to be furbished, that it may be handled.
So this sword has been given that it gonna be handled. Now, as it says in Genesis, I think Genesis 25, Esau was blessed with this sword. So here it is, man. This man Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he has been given the powers to rule this earth, with the sword. So it's gonna come a time that, hey, this man, the so-called white man, Esau Edom, he gonna show his horn. He's gonna come down with great wrath on you Israelites. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, and Hispanic. Keep going.
Yep. And it says in verse 11, and he have given it to be furbished that it may, it says that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer.
So Esau Edom, he gonna slay a lot of you 2/3. Why? Because you ain't paying attention. You ain't being circumspect. Give me Revelation 12 and 12.
Yep. This is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. And it reads, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them.
Yep.
Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for it says, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. Because
keep going.
It says, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time.
So you got the physical counterpart of Satan that's going to come down with great wrath. He's going to show you his horns.
Yep.
You got Donald Trump, man, fighting his ass off, trying to get back in office.
Yep.
And when he get back in office, he going to show you, hey, he's that devil. Because they got a short time to rule. So they're going to come down with some draconian laws. And they're going to come down with some stuff they're going to, wake you Israelites up. Going to wish you had paid attention. And one of the main things they're going to wake you Israelites up is a famine. Give me that Ezekiel. And it's 14. Yeah, 14.
God, this is Ezekiel 14 and verse 12. It says, the word of the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Bashai, came again to me, saying, verse 13, son of man, when the land sinneth against me by trespassing grievously, then will I stretch out mine hand upon it, and will break the staff of bread thereof, and will send famine upon it, and will cut off man and beast from it.
So when you sin against the Lord, it's a punishment.
Yep.
It's repercussions that's going to come behind it.
Yep.
See, Jake like to think that you got free will. You can do whatever the hell you want to do.
Yep.
And when the Lord didn't give you no fucking free will, he gave you laws, statutes, commandments to obey, instruction.
Yep.
And when you don't obey those, consequences. So what you think the Lord finna do to you? So he finna do something, that what you like. Jake love to eat. Man, love to eat. So he gonna cut that shit off. Give me Amos. And that 4. Amos 4 and 6.
Come, this is Amos chapter 4 and verse 6. And it reads, and I also had given you cleanness, it says cleanness of teeth in all your cities.
So the Lord gonna give your ass cleanness of teeth. Since you niggas love to eat, you know how Jake love to eat some unclean ass food. Love to go to the Tops Barbecue, get the baby back ribs, that unclean ass, have your feet, your teeth all filthy and shit.
Yeah.
He said he gonna give you cleanness of teeth. So you gonna have some pearly white teeth, and that day, people gonna be on a slim fast diet. Keep going up on
Yep. And it says in Amos 4 and 6, it says, and I also had given you cleanness of teeth in all your cities, and want of bread, and it says, and want of bread in all your places, yet have ye not returned. So it says, yet have ye not returned unto me, saith the Lord.
So you gonna be in wants of food. You gonna go in these storehouses. Hey man, them shelves gonna be empty. Give me second address. And that's 6 and 22.
Yeah. Come. This is second address. Second address 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22.
Matter of fact, hold on that. Go back to Ezekiel. I want you to read that in NLT. Read that in NLT.
Come on, this is back in Ezekiel chapter 14 and verse 12 in the NLT. It reads, go to it. It says, then this message, it says in Ezekiel 14 verse 12 in the NLT, then this message came to me from the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. Verse 13, Son of man, suppose the people of a country were to sin against me, and I lifted my fist to crush them. It says, cutting off their food supply and sending a famine to destroy both people and animals.
So when you sin against the Lord, hey, those are the consequences. The Lord's going to cut off the food supply. Give me that in Ecclesiasticus 40, I think 40 and 8.
That's right.
Because this is a punishment that comes from the Lord,
Con, this is Ecclesiasticus, better known as Sirach chapter 40 and verse 8. It says such things happen unto all flesh, both man and beast, and that is sevenfold more upon sinners. It says in verse 9, death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and scourge. Verse 10, these things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood.
So death, bloodshed, strife, famine, all that is created for the wicked.
Yep.
So when you out here doing your own things, hey, caught up in your own little bullshit, ain't paying attention to what's going on, hey, the Lord got a sword sharpened enough to come down up on you Israelites. He got a punishment that's custom made for every Israelite that don't want to obey him. Go back, all right.
Yeah, it says right here. Yeah, Con, it says in 2 Ezra 16 and verse 19, straight to the point. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment.
So these plagues that the Lord is sending to America, these are corrections. These are punishments, rebukes that the Lord trying to get you in order. But as if it'll say,
yeah, and it says in verse 20, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness.
You're not going to even turn from your wickedness. They're going to keep on turning up more and more. Give me that 2 Ezra 6 and 22.
Come. This is 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22. And it reads, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
So you're going to have these farmlands, they ain't going to produce crops. Here it is, you got Bill Gates, little crocker ass, man. I hate that, man. You got this man buying up all the farmland. Man, I thought you supposed to be some type of inventor for the computers and shit, technology, Microsoft. But here it is, you trying to buy up all these farmlands and stuff. Give me that article. I mean, not the article, that picture I showed you. Because this is what these elites, this is what they planning on to do. Agree with that, this dude named Henry Kissinger, he had said.
God, this is the quote that Henry Kissinger has said. It says, control oil and you control nations. Control food and you control people.
So these,
the people.
So these people have control over the food. Like it says in Job chapter 9 verse 24, the earth has been given to the hands of the wicked. So they control the oil, they control the food supply. So you got Bill Gates, man, buying up all these farmlands, man. Hey, they're gonna make sure these farmers ain't producing no crops. Like last year, they were telling the farmers, they were paying them to destroy their crops. Either they destroy their crops or the government going to destroy their crops. So you're gonna have these farmers ain't producing no crops. So all the sown place is gonna be unsown in that day. Go. You got something to say?
Yeah. Because I was gonna say also, that goes into where it says the full storehouses are gonna suddenly appear unsown. Pretty much going into like your local Walmarts and stuff.
Yeah, like
you was harping on the point about like how Bill Gates was pretty much burning down all those food warehouses. Well, if it ain't getting from the warehouse, it ain't getting to your Walmarts and your Costco's and your local grocery stores and stuff too.
Yep. Yeah. Go back to that joint. To that 2nd Ezra 6.
Okay. This is back in 2nd Ezra 6 and verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
So the full storehouse is going to be found suddenly empty. You ain't going to be able to go to the grocery store and get your little abomination food, all your unclean food that you always love to get. You're going to go up in there and it's going to be a shortage upon food supply. It's going to look like 2020 all over again. Keep going.
Yeah. And it says in verse 23 of 2nd Ezra 6 and 23, it says, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid.
Like the scriptures say, when they shall say peace and safety, sudden destruction. Man, read that over again, man.
This is 2nd Ezra 6 and verse 23. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid.
So now everybody gonna be afraid now. Hey, the storehouse is looking empty. See, niggas wanna panic when they can't eat no more. They like, oh shit, what's going on? Looking for ounces.
Yeah.
But now everybody afraid. Keep going.
Yeah, and it says in verse 24, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies.
So now friends finna fight.
Yep.
Friends betraying one another. Cause right now everything is all good, man. Everybody be like, man, shit. Hey, those times ain't coming. Everybody say, I ain't gonna betray you. But what about when shit hit the fan? When you ain't got nothing to lose. It's a saying in the world. When you ain't got nothing to lose, people lose it. Your next door neighbor, my motherfucker gonna start running in they shit. Keep going up on that.
Yep, and it says in 2nd Ezra 6 and 24, it says at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein.
So the earth gonna be in fear. Everybody gonna be afraid. What's going on? What's happening? Why the storehouses ain't got food in it all of a sudden? People looking for ounces. But I know, man, hey, the wisdom was right here in front of your face the whole time, crying out, telling you these things that's going to take place. Give me that in 2nd Ezra 15 and 19.
Alright. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 19. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword.
So a man is not going to have no pity on you in that day. He ain't going to show you no mercy. If he got a family and his family starving, man, what you think he going to do? If he know you got it. Man, I've been seeing Joey over there stacking up on canned goods. He must knew this was going to happen. Let me go over there and knock on his door and see he going to lend me some food. Now, he might lend you the food the first 2 times. But you think he going to keep doing it? If his food supply get too little short, Joey got a family too. He got to feed his family. So he going to tell you now. What you think his neighbor going to do? He going to come back with that, man, give me that. I need that. My daughter, she's sick. She hungry. She got diabetes. So you're going to have your neighbors, hey, running up at each other, they next door neighbor, taking food, because food going to be precious in that day. People going to need to eat. Keep going.
Yep. And it says in 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods.
So they taking.
Yeah.
They taking, ain't no more. Cause in those days, man, hey, it said victual shall be so good and cheap, but right now victual is good right now. But in those days, man, you're gonna have like an inflation, hyperinflation. Meat gonna be too damn high. Man, hey, Jay can't afford that. We barely can afford it right now. Meat gonna be $30.
Bills.
Yeah, bills. So what you think was gonna happen? You think Jake finna pay $50 for some goddamn eggs? Nah, the parking lot finna be the grocery store.
Yeah.
People finna start taking people goods.
Yeah.
Running up in people's houses when they know, man, so-and-so, man, I seen that man with a stack of water.
Right.
Man, ain't finna pay no $50 for no damn water.
Yeah.
So they finna start taking people goods.
I'm gonna make a point out.
Go ahead.
Because, in that day, you know what I'm saying, Jake Eve, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble. Because y'all are the main ones that like to go in these grocery stores and pile these baskets up with Fruit Loops and all that crazy stuff. Having a full basket in that day, that's basically gonna set you as a target in that day, man.
Yep.
And it says, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
So it's gonna be for a lack of bread and great tribulation.
Yep.
That's Jacob's trouble. It's gonna be trouble on all sides. Give me that second Esdras 15 and 19.
Come.
Second Esdras 16 and 22. My bad.
Come.
Chapter over.
Come. This is second Esdras chapter 16 and verse 22. It says, "For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy."
So you're gonna have many people perish of famine. That's Jeremiah. Yeah. You can get it if you want to.
Yep, come. Grab that jump real quick, to link it up. This is Jeremiah chapter 15. I'm gonna just start from the top, just read it too.
Read it in the NLT. Just go straight to the point.
All right, come. This is Jeremiah chapter 15, and going straight to the point, and Jeremiah 15 verse 2 in the NLT. "And if they say to you, but where can we go? Tell them, this is what the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua says. Those who are destined for death to death, those who are destined for war to war, those who are destined for famine to famine, those who are destined for captivity to captivity."
So those who are destined to die in that day, they're gonna die. Those who are destined for famine, they're gonna die of starvation.
Yep.
And the scripture speak about, give me Lamentation 4 and 6.
Yep. Lamentation 4 and 9.
4 and 9.
Come, this is Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 9. And it reads, let's get to it. It says, "They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger."
So it's better for you to die by the sword, a modern day gun, than to die of hunger.
Yep.
Man, dying of hunger, man, that's a slow, painful death.
Yep.
So you don't want to be that person destined for famine. Cause that's a slow death that shit, you would just rather just say, man, fuck it, man, just kill me already.
Yeah.
Then just go through the process of starvation.
Yeah.
Go back. Go ahead.
Cause if I may add on, cause like the starvation, like that's a painful process, man, and that's what the Lord gonna do in that day to a lot of proud individuals, man. Starting with you women, man.
Yeah.
You always want to do all these mukbangs, getting all in the camera, eating food and biting lobster and crab legs and stuff.
Yeah.
Go
back to the second Esdras 16 and 22.
Come.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that.
Cause J women, they love to go out to eat.
Yeah.
They don't never want to cook. You're supposed to be at the house cooking.
Yep. Come, this is back in 2nd Esdras 16 and verse 22. "For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and it says the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy."
So the ones that escape the hunger, the sword gonna destroy it.
Yep.
You're gonna have people dying in civil war, and you're gonna have people, man, the ultimate death, the nuclear missiles. So you can escape all those events, like it said in Jeremiah, if you were destined to die in that day, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
It don't matter if you escape. Like a man escaped from a lion and a bird met him. Going back to Amos.
Yeah. You know, if I may add, you know, it's gonna be just set up. It's gonna be set up like track hurdles. You know, you got to keep on jumping.
Yeah.
You know? One of them jumps you gonna trip up.
Yeah. That's why the Lord called it Jacob's trouble. It's a custom-made trouble, tribulations, and chaotic event for you Israelites.
Yeah.
Go to 2nd Ezra 8 and 50.
All right. Come on, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50. And it reads, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride."
So this is why all this tribulation is coming. You got proud individuals that don't even believe in the Lord. They're thinking like I said earlier, think you can do whatever you want to do. Not hearkening to the voice of the Lord, to the prophets.
Yep.
Telling you, hey, the right way to live life. You got too much pride, like you had said, man. Hey, these women, proud. How the scripture say, they walk forward with stiff necks, stretched forth necks, thinking they all that. So the Lord gonna bring great misery to you individuals. You were done on that?
Yeah. I was just gonna grab the word misery.
All right.
Come, this is the word misery in the online etymology, late 14th century, and it goes into a state of grievous affliction.
So this is gonna be a grievous affliction to you. You never thought you would suffer like this. But the Lord gonna bring this to pass.
Yep. And it also says condition of external unhappiness.
Hey, you know you're gonna be unhappy in that day. Yep. You can't eat. You starving. Man. You don't know where your meal gonna come from. You gonna be starving, physically and mentally.
Man.
Give me that 2nd Ezra 9. I think it's 11.
Come, this 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 11. "And they that have loathed my law, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it."
So you despise the Lord's law, statutes, commandments. So since you hate it so much, hey, this is the reward you're going to get in return.
Yep.
Since you hate my way, this is what the Lord said.
Come, verse 12. "The same must know it after death by pain."
So you're gonna have to feel it by death by pain.
Yep.
Cause words couldn't teach you shit. So the Lord saying, man, I just gotta pull out this belt on your head. I gotta let Esau come down with great wrath on you.
Yeah.
Show you I mean business. Yeah. I stand on business.
Yeah.
Give me that Job 19 and 20.
Come.
Because the elect, man, the hopeful elect, they ain't gotta worry about starving in that day. Long as they doing things that's pleasing to the Lord. Now, if you ain't doing nothing pleasing to the Lord, you ain't following his ways, doing what he requires you to do, then you gotta worry.
Come, this is Job 19 and
20. Oh yeah, Job 5 and 19.
So like it was Job chapter 5 and verse 19. It reads, "He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yeah, in 7, there shall no evil touch thee."
So no evil is not gonna touch the ones that obey the Lord, the ones that follow in the Lord's ways. That's rehearsing the righteous acts. That's keeping the Lord's law, statutes, commandments to the best of their ability.
Yep, and it says, "In 7, there shall no evil touch thee." Yep.
So ain't nothing is going to touch them, even when those nuclear missiles hit.
Yep.
And the Lord, is going to make sure he delivered his elect.
Yep.
Keep going.
And it says in verse 20, "In famine, he shall redeem thee from death."
So the Lord's going to redeem his chosen ones. He's going to save them from famine. All of them going to eat. Like in the generation of old. Look at the generation of old and see that any trust that was in the Lord was confounded. that he put them to shame. So the Lord gonna make sure his elect eat in those days. If you believe that you're gonna eat in those days, you're gonna eat. He gonna make sure you and your family be straight. Why worry? Keep going.
Yeah, and it says in Job 5:20, it says, in famine shall he redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword.
So he's going to make sure, hey, you don't get destroyed by those nuclear missiles or get caught up in Esau Edom.
Yep.
When he come down with great wrath, you gonna know what to do. The ones that follow the Lord's ways, that's hearken, those gonna be the prudent ones. Those gonna be the wise ones that dwell with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, so they're gonna know how to move. So you're gonna be protected, you're gonna be shielded from all that evil and wickedness and that famine going on throughout the earth. Give me that in Isaiah 65 and 13.
This is Isaiah chapter 65 verse 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shah power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold,
He said his servants is going to eat. But a nigga that didn't took heed, he gonna be hungry. His stomach gonna be touching his back. Keep going.
And it says, but ye shall be Salaki. It says, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed.
So you're gonna be ashamed in that day. You're gonna wish that you had took heed to the wisdom that cried out in the streets. You're gonna wish that you had the knowledge, wisdom, understanding in that day. Give me that 2nd Esdras 2 and 27.
My vision is not like...
This is 2nd Esdras chapter 2 and verse 27. And it says, be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance.
So don't be worried about what all these tribulations and famine come. You're going to be straight in that day, long as you're doing things that's pleasing to the Most High. Give me that in Isaiah 55 and 6.
Yep. This is Isaiah 55. This is Isaiah 55 and verse 6.
Amos 8 and 11.
It says, seek ye the Lord, Yahweh Shah, while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near.
So you need to be trying to seek the Lord while he is found. And right now, he is found right now. The doors of mercy is still open. Hey, wisdom still crying out in the street right now. So you need to be trying to seek the Lord while you can. Because it's going to come a time, hey, the door of mercy is going to close. And the prophet's not going to be out here. So if the prophets ain't out here, then what you think for to happen? Now judgment for to take place. The Lord's done talking. Now action have to be weighed now. So hey, it's gonna come a time. It's gonna be a famine of not just a bread, but hearing the word. Give me that Amos 8 and 11.
Yep. It says in Amos chapter 8 and verse 11, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shah power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh Shah.
So hey, it's going to come a time where it's going to be a famine of hearing the word. The scripture speak about, hey, a man should not live by bread alone.
Yep.
But these words, because these words that is written in this Bible, hey, it's going to save you.
Yep.
These are the word of life. Yep. These are the words of salvation.
Yep.
So if you're not taking heed to that, the main important thing, then hey, you fucked in that day.
Yep. And if I may add,
go ahead.
Like scripture say, take with meekness the engrafted word which is able to save your soul, which is Yahweh Shah, because he is the word. So hey, in return, if you don't want to, take in Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Shah, hey, the Lord's gonna humble you, man.
Yep.
He gonna humble you.
Yep.
And
the Lord shall be exalted in that day.
Yep.
We're done on that.
And it says in verse 12 of Amos 8 and verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the west, they should run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, and shall not find it.
So you ain't gonna be able to find it today. You gonna be looking from corner to corner. Man, hey, them brothers was on Bill Street. Why they ain't on Bill Street no more? You gonna go up on YouTube? Oh no, they ain't on there no more. Type in GMS, can't find it. So hey, you gonna be done.
Yep.
You had a chance to receive His word,
Yep.
but you despised it. You rejected it. So
Yep.
the Lord's gonna reject you in the end.
Because if I'm add on, you know, like in those movies, like you know, the Passion of Christ and all of that. Well, really, you know, when you notice, like in those movies, towards like the time when they bring in the MOTV, it always be like a re-education. Like they'll be trying to whitewash it, you know, pretty much, not whitewash, but pretty much brainwash the people.
Yeah.
So pretty much when the Lord take away His true word, the only thing you're gonna have is Esau, so-called, trying to break down the scriptures wrong. You know, like the Lord is going to completely take the true knowledge of Him out of the earth.
Yep.
You know, and the only one that's going to have it is those wise virgins.
Yeah.
That, you know, that took heed. You know what I'm saying? And those foolish virgins going to be running around, like He said in that parable, trying to seek and trying to get oil, you know, from the brothers that got the oil, and you're going to be asked out.
Yeah.
You know?
Only the prudent ones is going to be saved in that day. So I hope this lesson was edifying to the elect. Hey, shalom.
Shalom.